Hey, what's good, you guys? Peacock here in Singapore. It's been a great, refreshing day, and yes, I've been taking naps a lot lately. I think this whole, projector human design thing has been really interesting and been very helpful because it's given me excuses to take naps. I've always wanted to take naps, but it's all good now. I'm good. So, lately I've been up until 3, 4 in the morning again, back with my creative juices flowing, trying really hard to harness all of this information that's coming at me from all ends because not only do I get inspiration from the movies and TV shows that I watch with my family, but I also get juiced up, amped up by reading at the school, talking to my daughter, speaking with, clients and friends and colleagues around the world. I don't know, super inspired. I feel really good about it. Today I had a very fascinating experience, though. I decided to speak to one of my friends, Tamasa, and she offered me a shamanic healing session, something I have never done before, honestly. And I, I'm very spiritual, but I've never claimed to see auras or, channel or any of those things. I didn't think I could do it, but it was a beautiful expression, and I don't even know how to explain it, but when she took me through this journey to kind of deal with some of the things that I have in my past and things that I've stuffed down for a very long time, even though I think I have it handled, they still kind of pop up and show that they still affect me. So things like guilt and shame and fear, anger, things like that, I still deal with. I'm a practitioner and a student, right? So not only do I teach people, but I'm still going through life. I'm still human. I'm still experiencing new situations. So it's up to me every time the pattern appears for me to choose differently for myself because I know better. But even so, some of these things that I'd harbored for so long still affect some of my beliefs, and it's not until I face the situation itself that I can actually deal with it. So basically it was like a meditation. Because it's long distance. She's in California and I'm over here in Singapore. But it was beautiful because there was a lot of compassion, a lot of gentle guidance, and it was done via Facebook Messenger. It was really simple. So as I lay on my bed trying to hear and experience what she was telling me, I actually began to see colors. I was kind of fascinated because when I close my eyes, like just like everybody else, right? If you're sitting outside in the sunshine, you close your eyes, you normally see that yellow, orange, reddish light behind your eyelids is because of the sun, the light that's coming through your eyelids. But for the first time ever, I saw beautiful colors like indigos and purples and blues. And even though she had me think back to a time in my early childhood and then into a past life. I mean, I don't know how to do these things. I've never been taught how to do them. I've done an Akashic Records clearing once before, but I didn't see anything at that point. I just listened and they asked me questions and I kind of, gave them the first thought that came to mind, basically. But today it was fascinating. And I don't know if I've kind of understood all that happened today, but I feel free. I feel like I have extra space to move around. It's not so cluttered in my head anymore. I feel like I filed a couple things and it feels good. But this tonight, I was talking to my daughter after I read chapter 14 of Harry Potter's Chamber of Secrets because we're still reading through. We watched all the movies several times, but I wanted to read through and have her use her imagination a little bit more. So finished reading and I got into bed with her and I told her, you know what? I love you. I want you to know that the way I treat you is the way I want to be treated, the way I wish I had been treated as a child. And she said, well, why are you telling me this? And I realized it's because when I did the shamanic treatment with Tomasa today, that she helped me get in touch with my inner child. People talk about inner child. You have to deal with the inner child. No one actually explains how to do that. And she made it very simple and clear. And I wanted to thank her for that because it was an amazing experience. And I realized that I was kind of unconsciously doing it for my daughter, as in reaching back as if my daughter was me as a child and I'm trying to give her everything that I didn't have. And I think a lot of parents do that, but they don't understand the connection. So making the connection really helped for me today. And I started talking to my daughter and I told her that I wish I had this kind of experience with my mom. And I don't know what all stresses my mom was going through at the time, but she was living in a foreign country. She was doing things that are very, very out of her comfort zone. My mom she was born and raised in Singapore. She didn't know anything outside of Singapore. So when she left for London with my dad, it was a complete, like a whole new world, Aladdin, whole new world. And I can't imagine the kind of panic, fear, discomfort she may have felt. And especially after having me and then leaving with my grandmother, it must have been a lot of sadness that she went through. So shout out to my mom. I love you to death. I know you did the best you could, and I appreciate who you are. I appreciate everything you did. I watched everything, and we may not have always got along, but I really feel like this is important for me to say out loud. Anyway, so, just talking to my daughter and just explaining some things. And I told her, I know you think I'm annoying. I harass you all the time for hugs and kisses, and I'm always touching you. I'm always holding you because I feel like I need that. I need it for me and I need it for you. And something that I was listening to in the Mastin Kipp, I can't even know, I mangled his name, Mastin Kipp's Get Your Ideal Client Masterclass today, something he said really struck a chord with me. And I didn't realize it until just now when I said it, right? So it felt like we've been going about raising our kids a little differently. We've been thinking too much rather than feeling. The idea that you should let your child self-soothe when they cry really does affect us all the way through our adulthood. It's something we carry with us. It's almost like when I cry because I have no other way of communicating, I expect for someone to come. It's like, I'm calling to you, why aren't you coming? And that's something that suddenly gets deep-seated into your psyche, where you feel like no one's coming to get you, where you feel like you have to be alone. But that's not what we're supposed to do. I don't feel like that's how we're supposed to raise our kids. There is a reason that as a mom now, if I hear a child crying anywhere, I instantly want to go find this child and hold them. And then I'll understand if they're, making a big fuss, or they really are hurt, or something's troubling them, then we can find out. But the first instinct is to go hold them, to respond, to say, hey, I hear you, I'm here. And we as adults, we've learned to not call out when we need help, not call out when we don't feel so good. We've been conditioned to say, figure it out, you'll be all right, rub some dirt in it, all of that. There's nothing wrong with coddling your kids every so often. I'm not saying don't teach them how to defend themselves, don't teach them how to, survive. I'm saying let them know that you will be there first, and then help them through. And so I was talking to my daughter, like I said, we're going back through some memories and stuff. I wanted to let it out for her, and I needed to hear it out loud for me. So I was just talking to her, and I said, look, I'm here for you. I want to be there for you. I want to hold you. I want to love you to death, basically. I want to overwhelm you with these affections, because I know that in the future, when you have tough times, when you look back and you're trying to find reasons to come out of that darkness, reasons like to grasp onto the light and hold on, or pull yourself out, you're going to need these memories. There is a reason when we look back on our childhoods, some of us have really good memories when it comes to food, because maybe, the whole family got together around food. Maybe we have really great memories about certain places. Like for me, when I came back home to Singapore, the familial place, home for me here in Singapore, was my grandmother's house on Whampoa Drive. If I go back to the US, home for me would be Yogaville. There were a lot of really good memories there, a lot of growing up, a lot of, I felt lost, but I was able to anchor myself somehow. So I know the power of being able to pull yourself back and remember what it was like to be happy, what was happening in that moment, what was happening at that time in your life, who were the people around, what did it feel like? And so by using those memories, it almost becomes a recipe to reconjure that emotion. I think we need more of those. I think it's really important. It's easy for us to repeat to ourselves why we're upset about something. Oh my God, I can't believe he did that. Oh my God, I can't believe he did that. Why did he leave me? Why did he choose her? Why did he decide to cut off all communication? Why did he ghost me? Like all these things. I could go on and on. But why do that if I have plenty of good memories that I'm repeating to myself too? I really hate the fact that we don't have photo albums anymore. It used to be when people come to visit, there would be, a coffee table and there would be photo albums. And people kind of just idly go through and they go through photo albums because you want to share your life. You want to remind them, hey, I had good times. Do you remember when we did this? And hey, do you remember when, we took that trip and we saw that person and this is where we met so and so? Like those things, they're almost like portals to the good times in our lives. We take pictures and we keep the ones that look good. But how come we don't revisit those memories? I mean, let's be real, okay? A lot of us post great pictures on Instagram. I mean, all the stylo-milo photos, where we're like dressed to the nines, our face looks good, the skin looks good, the makeup is fly, eyebrows on fleek, whatever you want to call it. I don't know, outfit of the day, all of that. We look good. But how many of us can look at that picture and reconjure a good feeling with it? That's what I want to ask. How many of us can go back through our feed and look at the picture and say, you know what, that was a really great memory. I had a really great time that day. I'm glad I posted that picture. On the flip side, how many of you will go back and look at that memory and be like, damn, I remember, I was feeling like shit and I needed someone to like me. So I took 700 pictures in different poses and different light. And I finally posted one. And then I felt like shit because I only got 20 likes. Or maybe you were trying to catch someone's eye and you posted something and you waited and waited and waited for that one person to like your picture, and where you had thousands of people like, that one person still didn't show up, so you felt bad about it. So when you look back at that picture, you remember what you didn't get. See, that's what I want to talk to you guys about, because these recipes I'm talking about for the good emotions, that's what we need the most in our lives. We don't share recipes anymore. We don't go out and buy cookbooks to teach ourselves much of anything. It used to be about trying to find ways to pick the good, adapt with the good, and leave the bad behind. It used to be about the fact that, you talk to many people and you pick and choose the things that you love about their life so you can try and assimilate them into your own. It used to be about building beliefs, not just taking what was handed to you. We used to dream a whole lot more, you guys. And somewhere along the way, we conditioned ourselves not to. These recipes for getting back to those places where things were great, they're important. The reason I even write poetry is to capture a feeling. So that if you read what I'm writing, I hope that I was eloquent enough for you to be transported to your own time in your own life where you felt that feeling. It's almost like I pinned the feeling down in ink so you could catch it again. I mean, what is a picture really? It is a moment in time where you looked at yourself and you kept it. We look at ourselves all day long. I know people who look at reflections every chance they get, okay? So we look at ourselves a lot. But how many of those times when you look at the reflection do you feel good about the person staring back at you? How many times do we, take pictures in groups or whatever, and then somebody posts a picture and you're like, oh my God, take it down, it looks like shit. It's all about the feeling. I want you to cling to the great memories. Don't wait till the end of your life to look for the good memories. Do it now. Post when you feel good about yourself. Don't do it the other way around, where you post because you want someone to like you, so then you have validation to feel good about yourself. It should come from within. I saw a post from Mira. The account name is Release, Refocus, Reconnect. And she talked about, it doesn't matter what you wear, but her fitness journey is changing her body and she feels good. So she posts when she feels good. And I was like, you know what? That's exactly it. That's exactly it. This is how we become our most authentic self. This is how we change the idea that you have to look a certain way to be beautiful, or look a certain way, or reveal a certain amount of skin for people to like you and to want you. Look, I started putting pictures of myself on my Instagram feed because I wanted the world to know that I was an actual physical human person behind the account. Anybody can dress up quotes from other people and post and motivate. I want to own what I'm saying. I want you to know that I believe. This is the person that believes. This is the face that comes with the voice. So I posted pictures of myself. And because the world is conditioned to look for beauty that fits a certain, certain criteria, I get a lot of DMs about, oh, you look great, you look humble, you look sexy, you look, oh my gosh. But that's not my purpose here. I want you to know that even if my face was scarred, even if I looked disfigured, even if I could no longer see myself, I want you guys to see me. I want you guys to recognize me in the street as a normal human being. I am human. I am real. I exist. I'm not a conjured image on social media. I'm not a bunch of stock photos. This is me. Take it or leave it. And when I look back on my feed and I look at the many pictures that I've posted, I have good feelings about those pictures. I identify with the caption and the picture. I think my message is clear. There are moments in there where I'm proud. There are moments in there where I feel like I accomplished some things. There are moments that I've posted that aren't videos anymore. They used to be just static photos. The photos are representative of times in my life where I wasn't sure I would make it, but I did. My Instagram feed is a reminder for me. I serve me first. I heal me first. And I post it for the world to see, to show them that I am still human, that I am still practicing, I'm still studying, I'm still learning. But as I learn, I will teach the people behind me too. Start talking more about the recipes for how you felt when you felt good. Start talking about all the aspects of that memory. Turn it over and over in your mind. Who was there? What did you feel? What was happening in your life? What were you dealing with in that time, in that period of your life? Why is it a good memory? And once you keep looking at why it's a good memory, you should be able to find similarities in everyday occurrences. This is going to be a good memory. I feel it. I have moments even now when I walk around my neighborhood, if I'm dropping baby girl off, if I go to the store or whatever, I have moments where I have flashbacks of how it felt to be in school, in high school, how it felt to be in college. That free feeling where anything was possible. And when I have that flashback, that deja vu feeling, I stop and I think about it and I remember what it was like to have the whole world waiting for me to decide what I wanted to do. It was like the options were endless. I could choose anything. When I have glimpses of those memories, I indulge myself. I go back to those memories because it helps me hold on to that feeling longer. The recipes for your emotions, the good emotions, they will help you in your darkest times. Those photo albums we used to have at your grandmama's house, they will help you in your darkest times. Because we forget there are more good times than bad. We just don't talk about them. We should. Look at your Instagram feed. Look at your Facebook feed. People are trying to be vulnerable. People are trying to show you bits and pieces of their life. And sure, it's curated, so it's the nicer parts of your life. But when you look at the picture, it holds a meaning for you. Only you. Why not overanalyze those good memories? Why not go over and over them in your mind so that when you do have trouble, when you do face darkness, you can reach back for those good memories and think about, you know what? I can. I have before. I will again. It's possible to be happy. I've had that before, even if it was fleeting. Those recipes will last you a lifetime if you let them. I want you guys to think differently about your emotions. A lot of the difficulties we face are common. It's just that our pain threshold is different for each of us. All of us have experienced pleasure, though. All of us. There is no one walking this earth today that can't say that they haven't experienced some form of pleasure. For some of us, it's the way we feel when we eat something. For some of us, it's the way we feel when we hear certain kinds of music or a particular song. For some of us, it's a place. For some of us, it's a person. But we have pleasure in our lives. We just have to recount them over and over. Make those our permanent memories instead of the ones that really hurt. Use those as anchors to pull ourselves out when we find ourselves in darkness. Use the recipes and then learn how to pass them down. I'm doing that for my baby girl today. I am teaching her that if she cries, I will come running. I may not pick her up right away, but I will be there. I will stand by her and I will teach her how to pick herself up. But she will see me first. I will come running. She needs that for her own self-worth and her own self-confidence. She needs to know that she matters and that when she cries or when she calls for help, somebody will be there. Even if it's just a memory of me. It will be enough. I know it will be. So please indulge your memories. Indulge the goodness that you have felt in your life. You never know when those memories would help. I love you guys. I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.